Hey guys, so as you may have noticed in the last tournament video I uploaded, my audio got completely ruined for the other game, so I'm going to do a post whatever thing recorded over my gameplay. So this is not the real-time commentary, but it's a recording of me watching the video and commenting, because if I upload a video with no commentary, it's just gonna do not as good. So yeah, unfortunately that also means no game audio, but I guess it's better than nothing, and better than constant buzzes as well. So for game 2 here, I'm playing Red Mech on Hell against his Red 4 unspec deck. So because I lost the first game, and because of the way the map and the deck bans go, I chose to play Hell and with Red Mech, because that is my strongest combination. So the idea here is to basically not lose game 2, because otherwise that means I would lose the best of 3. So plan is to do basically the same thing I did in the game against Cavo, except this time with an actual competitive deck. I'm gonna go light on my right side with some defenses, and the main push is to prevent him from taking what's the zone called there? You know what I mean. It's like in the Gregory town area basically. So spam M84s and Yakari, and force a stalemate in Gregory. Hold my side of Fedor, and then I basically get Boris unless he decides to go full on there. So that's a long-term game plan here, and we'll see how it goes. I'll try not to spoil anything. It's gonna be a bit hard because I already know how this goes, but you don't. So yeah, looks like we're both ready. I made some changes here to this deck. As you can see, I no longer have the OBR in the tank tab. I have a cheap T72 because I find the fire support much more valuable. And I don't really need a tank more expensive than the M84A, really. It's the perfect package. I get everything I need out of that tank, so it's perfect. Here we go, launching the game. We're both ready. Plan in action, moving my units where they need to go. I got one recon there for the middle zone, not too many, because what are the chances that he's going to push that, you know? It's very rare that people go in for that. Spreading my forces out, starting with a recon helo as well is very useful there in Gregory, because once people drop smoke, the line of sight is pretty awkward, and I do want to know what kind of force composition he has. Of course, I don't know what he has in his Red 4 unspec deck, because there's quite many choices that you can make, and it's very not a typical deck as well, so I kind of like that. I like when players play something out of the meta. And as you can see, he also has a recon helo starting with a K29. He sent two of them, which I found really surprising, one for Boris, one for Gregory. So that's already 80 points for recon helos right off the bat. So that's kind of in my favor right off the opener, because I go very, very strong here. As you can see, the mech style allows you to have a lot more units in the opener because of how cheap everything is. Compared to Moto, where you pay a tax for your transport. So there he kills the transport on my CC, but they luckily survive with the K29. I try to send the ZPTU to intercept those, but they're more flank defense than Helo Hunters, although they do manage to get in range there. He does fire on my CC, and ooh, still not dead. But he does shoot at it with that tank, which I haven't identified. So I'm not really sure what that is there. Yeah, getting these Fagot in position and trying to keep them alive is very vital, because if I have them killed, then he has a lot more mobility in this area. I have a Shilo there as well to force off any helicopters, and the idea is to not lose this forest there left of Gregory, because if I can't come back there later in the game, it's going to be very difficult to hold the zone. And for my plan to work, I basically need to hold that zone. So there he has some tanks shooting at me from the forest. I decide to smoke them off instead of trying to reveal them. And play around the M84s as well. So I do spot the tank now. Here in the middle, he is trying some probe here with the Mechanizovana, but I respond to that in time. Still pushing here with the M84s. Just playing mech like a total monkey, just spam infantry basically. And now I see this pesky K29 try to sneak around, so I did the typical thing where I invest so much points into base defense, but better than losing a game in 15 minutes, right? Here he is actually making some big push, and at this point in the match, I'm kind of thinking, well, he's definitely not open for Gregory. It looks like his plan was to take this hillside in Fedor, and I'm doing a dumb thing here. Still playing base defense instead of reacting to it. But I do decide to pull my M84s there. Also, I think with these post-game commentaries, where I'm looking over the video, I'm going to be noticing a lot more mistakes than when you're playing, because when you play, you have a habit of tunnel visioning a lot. It happens to the best players, so it's something that's really unavoidable. But I think pointing it out like this and in this type of commentary might also be valuable. So let me know what you think of it. But this is definitely like a one-off thing, and also, yeah, because the audio got ruined. Yeah, there's OBR 89 there, which is a 140 point tank, and I certainly can't really engage it head on because mechanized doesn't quite deal with heavy tanks all too well. So my idea there is to just hold the hillside. So if he comes up the hillside, I have the kinetic scaling, and I have a lot of units there I can put to get side shots, get much more damage on him. So I'm not trying to contest this open field that's below the hill. I'm just trying to hold the forest where the CC is, and basically hold the forest with the M84 is as well. That's the idea, and I want to put this recon tank in this position here, which is going to allow me to shoot into that open field left of Boris if he tries to make another push for the middle one-pointer. So that's the idea. He's got a lot of forces there invested, but I already have some reinforcements which I rerouted from the left to react to this properly. See K29 doing some nice damage, is killing my recon, so now I can't spot anything that's below the hill, which is pretty bad. I still have the Alouette. VDV doesn't manage to do much there, only kills a cheap transport. And yeah, that AA piece is now in a good position to lock off some helicopters. In the meantime, I'm still trying to reinforce Gregory, because that's my long-term goal for the game, and this is why I want to defend the hill. So he comes up with his OBR and then gets shot at by the M84, where I'm in a much more favorable position, and this is where I want to defend instead of defending below the hill. It's kind of obvious, but yeah, it makes sense. I did have the AAPs killed, so I buy another one, and he's still pushing everywhere, which is kind of relentless, but I guess that's how you should fight mech. But it's safe to say that the matchup doesn't favor him too much, which is why I chose this specific set of rules for the second game. Yeah, I still got a lot of helicopters on the flanks, which I'm kind of worried about, but I sent another Shilo there because they don't really have too much range. As you can see, I already have two Shilos right next to each other, but I need to cover more ground with them. So luckily they are cheap, and I can bring a lot to the field. So I'm trying to now slowly push him out of here. This is Vidyach is in a good spot, but it's being shot at, and that's why I bought the Peon to put it where the Izvidyach is in Boris. It's a very valuable position to have a recon tank in. Meantime, yeah, I'm doing some maneuvering with my M84s here in the middle, and also sending infantry on the left. So this match so far has really been a multi-lane thing. A lot of bouncing back and forth. I do manage to kill that peon there with my M84s, which is super valuable. It's a nice kill. It's gonna allow me to buy some time basically to get reinforcements. And what I do here is, because I've killed a lot of his units, I've stopped his attack, it's safe for me to buy a CV. So I buy a regular Jeep for my home sector because I started with a command tank, and the idea is to move the command tank into Boris instead, because he might send a helo, he might try to RD it, he might try to bomb it, you never know. So it's always better to have that. I'm also replacing this CC here because having a recon in that bush is very important. It allows you to see down the hill from an elevated position, so if you're able to, that's also nice. And that's a sneaky peon there on the left next to the Proletari, which is causing me some trouble, but I do manage to kill it right there, which is really good. And then again, Mi-25 come back, but now I have the Shiloh in position and another one coming in, which I decide to put there on that lake looking area in the forest. And I move the T-72 now into the zone. Right, the ZZC-55 is an interesting choice in this. It's only good optics, I'm not sure why he has it. There's probably better things you can use, right? Like a Recon T-55 maybe? I don't know. Yeah, the idea is to keep spamming infantry in that forest there, left of Gregory. Because if you can hold that, you basically have control of the zone. And now the peon is here, I put it in that spot, cover it with the Shiloh, and that is going to give me so much area denial. It's going to make any future attack into the middle zone pretty much pointless, you know, unless he deals with that, which is going to take a significant investment. Yeah, but the game is gonna slow down at this point. I'm trying to probe a bit with the BTRs, but my idea is not to attack center. My idea is to have an early tick up on him and then just be in a position where he has to grind into me. And this is the point where he reveals his Buratino, and that's kind of a scary moment for me, because Buratino is pretty good against any deck, you know, especially also mech. If he can stun my fire support and infantry, he has a much better chance of grinding out on this map. You can see at this point he's sending a lot of Lujanduis to the left. Shiloh there in a perfect spot. It's exactly what I wanted. Deals with that K-29. And yeah, there's a lot of Lujandui here now, which is an interesting choice. I think they're basically stat clones of Moda Schützen, unless I'm mistaken. But they don't come with the BMP-1, so it's kind of an odd choice to have them. And there we go. That's exactly where I want the peon there. It's such a good spot. It's gonna shut down everything he has there. But at this point I notice he has a lot of reinforcements now trying to wrestle me out of this key location, so my focus for the time being is to spam as much infantry as I can into that area. Yeah, peon there dealt with the enemy vehicles. It's in a pretty good spot. Buratino fires another shot in the middle, but I don't pay attention, as you can notice. I'm more focused in this zone here because he has a lot of forces here. And also something I notice now is that, well, he's probably moved his OBRs there, even though at this point in the match I didn't really even think about that, because I haven't seen them in the middle, but I also didn't kill any. I don't know why I buy 2 CCs there in the Zills. Some misclick. Oh man, I actually played with a really severe migraine this day. It was pretty awful, but it was the last day that we could play our matches, so I couldn't postpone. And yeah, I decided to split one, send it to the left. He has a PGZ there, which stuns my VP, which is unfortunate because a VP on that side is really good. And at this point in the match, I noticed that this guy really loves his K-29, so there's a lot of them circling Gregory. And I'm not too worried because of the sight lines. It's kind of difficult to use helicopters from his side, and as you can see, the Shilohs there are in pretty good positions to give me coverage. See, the idea he has is to spread them around the flank, but I kind of see it coming, so yeah, my Shilohs do pretty good work. As you can see, I have 3 manpads here just dealing a lot of damage to the K-29. Solo that. Okay, I kill one. My ammo box hit on the other. I think it makes it out alive. Yeah, it does. Okay, there we go. Is Vidyach there being shot at. I have a cargo ready. These M84s are stunned and they're not really doing anything, so yeah, I'm still anticipating the OBRs being in the middle, which is why I don't move my M84s here, which is a mistake. I should already have had them here because I dealt with this attack in Fedor. But it's just one of those things you notice in post. Again, this peon just doing so much work for me. It's such a good spot. And I'm still keeping those there, like a total dumbass. But that's okay because I'm holding this zone rather well. I'm not too worried about losing this match. It's going a lot better for me than the last one. So yeah, the VP now with the PGZ dead, I can finally use it to mop up these stragglers in the back. Shiloh again, helping me to deal with that MI25, and knowing that I've pushed him back, I decide to capitalize on this and buy yet another CV. Because again, I want to take up in the early game as much as possible because I'm playing a mechanized deck, and if it's in a situation where he has more of a point advantage and I have to push into OBRs, it's not gonna work. So I want the reverse, where he's the one that has to do pushing late game. So now I see the OBRs moving into the left side, and I finally decide to move my M84s after long overdue. I have enough forces here to prevent any sort of incursion in the middle, and also the fact that he has no idea what I have helps me to basically solidify that hold there. So at this point in the match, I'm kind of also going on the offensive in a way, but not with the intent of pushing him out of Gregory, but more with the intent of just keeping him busy in the zone. As you can see, I'm also trying to resupply my damaged squads wherever possible, and the idea is to just keep grinding him out, keep flanking him, spamming as much infantry into Gregory as I can, and just bog him down. That's the idea. Now I have a third M84, which is super good. Easy to deal with these OBRs at the close range. I do lose a base T72 there to the Legendary, but that's no big deal. He tries something here with the Liran, but I do have some infantry there to stop him. As you can see, these OBRs are pretty good. They deal with the Proletari effectively. It's got the T72A for support, so that means I need a lot more SenSAtionals, otherwise I'm not going to do much. And that's another OBR. My M84s are engaging that. I split them to send the damaged one backwards because I don't want to lose those tanks, and I think they kill him there. I'm not sure what those motor shitsons kill. Definitely kill something. Oh, it's probably a T72. And there the VP scores a kill on that OBR there, which is huge. It hits it with the Kokon and the rocket pods, and I believe it was a side armor shot. So I saw that go down. I'm like, okay, this is now an opportune moment to push up. And there's a second OBR. Does a lot of damage to me, so I have to move back. And at this point in the match, I'm thinking, well, I've probably already won this game. So I'm feeling really, really confident. He's trying to do a push here now, but it's just not going to work because I have a lot of defenses solidified. I kill his tank with my... he tries to send the MA25, but again, I have a Shiloh there. And as you can see, all three of my M84s are damaged. So I'm pulling them back. This one's pretty exposed now, so this T72 is shooting at it. It's very scary, but it does get out of range just in time. So I need to repair all three of my tanks. Yeah, and I deal with his attack there on the right completely, which is good for me. Yeah, all my M84s are on 1 or 2 HP, which is pretty bad. But at least they're alive. So in the meantime, I'm just buying more reinforcements. I know that I have control of Gregory, and he's not gonna push me out. At least not with the forces he currently has. In the meantime, I buy more base defense. Jesus Christ. This is a whole card of ZPTU. My god, what am I doing? Okay, yeah, sending those BMP there for some fire support. More SenSAtional on the way on the Proletari to deal with the OBRs and the T72A, because the Yakari and the Motor Schutzen are not really going to deal with that. But all this time I've just been taking at a +1, which is exactly what I want. And then I decided to turn everything on in my supply trucks. and group up my M84 so that they share the ammo and the fuel. And the Berrettino is here, so this is where the tide kind of turns, where now with the Berrettino support, I'm thinking, okay, he has a good chance of pushing me out of here. And what do? I buy a command tank, because that is the move you need to make, right? That's excellent. That is amazing. I get really complacent because I'm in a favorable position. I'm thinking there's no way I'll lose this game, so might as well just buy a CV. Just a bit dumb, but might as well, I guess. I do have enough Proletariat here to feel comfortable, though, so that's what I do. And with the VP support, I also feel like I'm not in a big danger from the tanks. But again, the Berrettino here is what really is going to help him push into Gregory. And again, another K29. It's so many this game, but you see the Shilohs are doing work. I have a supply truck parked right next to them because they've been running out of ammo, but they've kind of been missing, which really unfortunate. There we go. We have 2 OBRs now in the forest, so that's 3 OBRs total that I've spotted this game. I kill a 72A right there, but this Berrettino does a good hit on my infantry and panics them. So I can't really deal with the OBRs with the Proletariat now. Again, I send another one back because it's damaged. And I try to dive deep with the M84s here to try and kill the OBRs at close range. Because it's my time to shine here with them. Meantime, you can see it's more reinforcements flooding. I feel like I can use that positioning there for the M84s pretty well because I have infantry to the left and the right of them, so the chances of getting side shot are very slim. Catching that V2V in the open is very good. And yeah, I'm just buying more infantry. Send more shit there. It's T72A, but it's a 2-stack it looks like. So I'm kind of pulling back because I don't want to be too close, but I also want to kill them, so I'm engaging at a bit of a bigger distance now. And now he has a lot of forces there to my left, so I'm deciding to, yeah, I kill both of those T-72As and I'm pulling out of there because I've lost the infantry support in the left hand forest, which is going to leave me exposed. So try not to be overly aggressive with the M84s. I like to keep them alive and get a critical number of them, and then you can really turn the tide with those tanks. That's how you should play them. They're very good in numbers. I mean, I guess all tanks are, but yeah, there's a lot of Illusion Dui again, and my infantry is all panicked and shaken because of the Berrettino. But again, I'm at a +2, and this just puts a lot of pressure on him. And buying that CV is not so bad for me because, as you can see, I'm in a very good spot. And you can tell that I've stopped caring because I'm floating 260 points. And I remember at this point in the match, I was like, why doesn't he just GG, right? And I'm expecting the GG, which is why I'm playing so complacent like this. Trying to find out what I kill here, but I can't even locate the unit. So, yeah, 300 points now. Really, really bad. I'm just not even sure what to buy at this point because I have all my bases covered pretty much. And I also don't want to over-invest into infantry there because it's just going to get killed by the burrito. But I do buy some Motorschützen to deal with the Legendary and some Proletari to deal with the OBR. So that's the idea. Yeah, this VP though, it did so much work this game. It's crazy. The PGZ, I'm not sure if it's a different PGZ or if it's the same one. But that thing's been harassing my helo all game. But it's not enough to kill it, so I decided to land it on the supply trucks. And yeah, I kill the recon helo with the Shiloh on the left. So I'm denying him the vision, which is so important. If he cannot see me maneuver my M84s, then I'm in a better spot for that. I buy a Turbo Meg because I don't know what to do with my points. It's the first plane purchase of this match because there hasn't been a need yet to buy planes. I'm not even sure what I'm bombing here. I'm just randomly clicking with it because, again, I'm just expecting the GG anytime soon, right? Because I'm in such a favorable position. And again, I'm pushing up my M84s, going aggro with them, sending some infantry on the left to deal with his other attack. Yeah, he's just trying to grind me out of here. I'm trying to save some of these squads. I have no fob, so I just keep buying. This is about the last 2 supply trucks, so I've 16 more minutes to go, and I've already used up all of my supplies. So imagine I had more M84s, that would not go well. So this is another OBR he buys, I think, because it moved from the reinforcement road. So I'm thinking there's 3 OBRs here. I need this SU-25, and because that MiG got out without being shot, that tells me that there's no AA at all. So the logical thing to do is to buy that SU-25. He's again moving here for Fedor, but I'm not worried. I'm waiting to tick up and buy a M84 defensively for Fedor. And I'm just circling this here, waiting for an opportune moment to use the SU-25. VP kills... No, what was that? I don't know. A T-72 got killed by something. I'm not sure what. VP is in the back line. Yeah, so here come the M84s. And I'm sending mine tanks to kill his. It's an OBR and 2 M84s, so... I kill the OBR. I killed another thing there with the SU-25. It's a beautiful strike, so I'm thinking you should just GG at this point. But I lose 2 of my M84s. And he still has tanks. So even though I killed 2 tanks, he also killed 2 of mine. And he does another Buratino strike here, and now I see, okay, my stupid attitude gets me in trouble here. I lose yet another M84, just because I'm playing like an idiot. I'm expecting him to GG, but he's still pushing me. So now I'm thinking, oh shit, have I just thrown this game? Because I have no tanks left. The Buratino did so much damage on the left. I cannot reinforce in any sensible way. So I'm really worried about the situation as it is. The Proletari there killed something, but I'm not sure what. And I'm basically just hoping for lucky side shots at this point. That's the only thing that's going to save me. And again, another Buratino strike on the town locks me out. The fire there prevents the Proletari from doing anything substantial, but I still have this MVP VP, so I'm hoping to do something. And that's my idea, just try and side shot him. Because that's the only way I'm going to do anything. Yeah, there's another K-29. Look at these Shilohs, they just keep missing. 2 of my Shilohs go down, and unfortunately the Proletari do not get that side shot. And here I click frantically like a monkey, and because of that the pathing completely messes up, and instead of killing that tank, I let him live, basically. Panic K-29 misses every shot in the world, but I've at least stabilized here. And I'm still ticking, so at least that's good for me. But that was definitely shaky. He made a nice counter-offensive into Gregory, which almost cost me the zone because of my negligence. So that goes to show that you should never let your guard down. But again, I was just really tired playing with a migraine, expecting that GG, so I just wasn't really in the tournament mindset this day. Not as sweaty as I should have been. Buying more reinforcements, because what else do you do? I think I do the scrolling thing with Derek, noting how much infantry I have, and then he finally throws in the towel. And after that last attack, so that's 1-1 from this set of games, which means we go to game 3 to decide the winner of this bracket. So KD is not that bad for him. I think he comes back at the end. And if we look at the kills there, yeah, I write this in chat because he said the same thing the match before for his deck. Yeah, M84 didn't really do much when you look at the kill list like this. Kills kind of speak for themselves. This one did okay, I guess. 272 ace and a peon. It's okay. This peon though is the perfect position there. And the VP was the MVP. Look at that. That's beautiful. Yeah, and the other kills are what you expect. That was also. Oh, I didn't kill the OBR with it. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, and that was a surprising kill as well with the MiG-29. So that was basically it for this match, and see you in the next one.